Winter arrived to the island of Sodor, and with it came a hefty blanket of snow. Thomas was running up the branch line with his coaches when he heard a long and loud whistle in the distance.
That's Percy!
He cried,
Something must be wrong.
and they applied the brakes just in time.
Cinders and ashes!
He gasped,
Thank you, Percy.
but as he looked over to his friend, he found that Percy wasn't so lucky. Thomas's driver phoned for the breakdown gang, and by dusk they had arrived at the sheds, with Percy perched on a flatbed.
What happened to you?
Asked Edward.
Water.
Giggled Henry and James together.
A snowdrift buried the line,
Sighed Percy.
and I couldn't stop myself in time, that's all.
But you still managed to prevent a nasty accident, boomed the Fat Controller. As for you, I've phoned the works, and they will have your replacement parts by tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow? Sir, will I make it back for the Christmas party in time?
I'll see what I can do.
That means I won't pull the mail train either.
Don't worry,
Smiled Thomas.
I can help while you're being mended.
It's not the same.
Thomas thought it best to leave Percy alone.
Wish there was something we could do for him.
Don't be too hard on yourself now. Everyone's very busy this time of year.
No. Shame he misses out on the mail runs.
An idea flew into Edward's funnel,
Or maybe he doesn't have to. I've got a plan.
and he whispered it to Thomas.
We'll do it tomorrow.
The next day, Edward was determined to find the Fat Controller. It wasn't long before he spotted him, heading towards his office.
Sir!
He whistled. The Fat Controller was so surprised he almost face-planted into his office door. Yes, Edward, what can I do for you? Edward explained his plan, and towards the end, the Fat Controller smiled. I'll make the arrangements right away. You let Thomas know I approve of your little escapade. Be quick now. He found him in the yards preparing his next train.
Thank goodness I got a chance to speak to you. The yard manager told me. I'm needed at the clay pits. I won't make it back in time for Percy's mail train.
And I have my passenger service at 6:30.
We'll just have to find someone to cover for one of us.
I can help with that. I've got a goods train from the docks due a few minutes after the fast train will arrive, but my timetable's free otherwise.
The three engines and their crews agreed and exchanged their timetables. Meanwhile, Percy was sitting alone in his siding. He watched the other engines pass by in a hurry, in hopes of finishing before the festivities began. Percy hoped that he wouldn't stay there for long, but he didn't have to, as Edward came chuffing in.
Hello, Percy. Come on, your next train is due to leave any minute now.
This made Percy chuckle, and he decided to play along.
Where are we headed?
You'll see. But you've got to pick something up first.
Replied Edward. They puffed into the yards, where the mail train stood almost ready to go. Percy watched as the workmen packed the vans with parcels and letters.
You want to take it, don't you?
Of course I do.
Good, because you will be doing it.
What? Edward, what are you doing?
The mail train just isn't a mail train without Percy. Now come along. The Fat Controller's orders.
Within a few minutes, with the brake van and Percy up front, and Edward pushing from behind, they set off on the night's journey. As they went along the line, whenever they needed to stop, Percy and the guard would say,
Brakes, please.
and when they needed to start again, Percy would say,
Come on, before Harold takes the rest.
Every so often, they would see their friends passing by, and Edward would whistle up front to greet them in Percy's stead. Once the mail run was dealt with, they trundled back home. Only to find the yard completely dark. Percy's heart sank. It was too late. And then the lights turned on. All the engines stood there already, with a Christmas tree right beside the shed, and the Fat Controller pacing his platform. Ladies and gentlemen, engines and coaches, I give you 3 cheers to Edward, Percy and Bear for making this event possible. Then Thomas chucked in.
Sorry I'm late. What did I miss?
We've only just begun. Don't worry.
Good. Oh! Watch it! I'm not a truck!
I've seen quite a few blue ones, haven't you, Ben? And besides, Thomas is yellow.
Thomas scoffed. Edward and Bear laughed.
Let's see a plan worth wonders on him.
They all looked at Percy as he was beaming from joy, and completely forgot he still stood on his flatbed. It was a very happy Christmas indeed.